Biology of spiders. Spiders are everywhere. Out of 900,000 species of animals on Earth, spiders represent well over 8%. This makes them the seventh most diverse order of organisms in the entire animal kingdom. More diverse than birds, and about as diverse as true bugs. Spiders can be found in almost every terrestrial habitat. A global map of spider diversity is indistinguishable from a map of terrestrial habitats. Evidently, the spiders have it all. Because most species of spiders have to eat other organisms to survive, spiders are found wherever there is food. This means that they're virtually everywhere, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Frankly, the world of spiders is huge. There is an amazing amount of variation in the lifestyles and appearances of different kinds of spiders. Some spiders spend almost their entire life underwater. Some live their entire lives inside a single plant. Others live only on the highest mountains or in very hot deserts. There are spiders that build elaborate castles, complete with functional drawbridges, and spiders that have independently evolved almost all aspects of life from other kinds of spider. Admittedly, that's a bit of an exaggeration. But it's the kind of exaggeration that you could be forgiven for believing. Because the truth is that spiders are really diverse. And while the spiders may have it all, no one could argue that the world does not. But whether we humans like it or not, we are forced to share our homes and workplaces, our beds, our clothes with spiders. We even share our bodies with spiders, and I don't mean by getting bitten. Every night, an average of 3 spiders will crawl across your face while you sleep. Spiders are equipped with such a clinical array of tools, such efficient and novel methods for everything from finding food to breeding, that it would be an exercise in futility to go through the entire repertoire. Every new species discovered brings some fascinating new aspect of spider biology to light. Anatomy and physiology of spiders. The exoskeleton is essentially torn at a particular body part, so that the spider can discard the old skin and grow larger. Post-molting process is extremely crucial, as the spider needs to cautiously absorb water from the environment to expand and harden its new exoskeleton. The new exoskeleton would then accommodate the spider's growth till the next molting. Spiders have an abdomen, a cephalothorax, as well as 8 legs and mouths, and various eye patterns could exist among different spider species. For example, tarantulas normally possess 8 closely arranged small eyes, which are not very sensitive in distinguishing different colors and forming precise images. On the contrary, wolf spiders have large and prominent eyes with much better image-forming ability. The structure of the spider abdomen is interesting, as it could balloon to many times its original size, creating pressure differences to facilitate blood circulation and breathing. Most spiders possess venom glands, which are situated in the cephalothorax, the chelicerae, as well as the 8 legs. The venom solution is transferred through the venom ducts and then excreted from the pointed fangs, or the terminal part of the chelicerae, to attack prey or as a self-defense mechanism. For certain spider species like tarantulas, the 2 fangs mostly curve downwards during a bite. So the venom is not really ejected as compared to other spiders, which bite the prey with erect fangs. Also, spiders do not have a sucking stomach. They are like owls, typically devouring the liquid parts of their food and discarding the solids. The body fluid will be dissolved from the prey's body, and then the digested food could be absorbed by the stomach outside the digestive canal. Web building and hunting techniques. Physically constructing the web, however, is an engineerly process, beginning with a single non-sticky silk thread called the bridge line, which the spider lets drift out on the breeze from wherever it is anchored, until it contacts a surface like a wall or vegetation. Then, using the bridge line as a guide for the locations and distances of the eventual spiral sticky droplets, the spider lays down additional radial lines of non-sticky silk. These radials are laid down in a peculiar way. Starting from the initial attachment of the bridge line to the surface, the spider begins by taking a first radial all the way out to the perimeter defined by the wide end of the future spiral. Then goes back to the central circle and lays down a second radial to its narrow end. Then a third radial to the wide end of the spiral again. Then to the narrow end of the spiral, and so on. The result is that the spiral non-sticky silk, as it starts to be laid down by the spider after the radials, and built beginning at the perimeter and moving inwards, intersects with the radials at all of these attachment points. This is really only possible because the spider is constantly furling and luffing the flexible silk that is in the air. In fact, to minimize the effect of wind or disturbances, the underside of the stabilimentum in the middle of the web is attached to its own support line separately from the rest of the web. As the spider builds the spiral out, it moves in a zigzag back and forth between the end of the spiral and the beginning. Again, to minimize the number of spirals laid down at a time, which would have to intersect with the radials. The spider does not run along the spiral from the inside out. Rather, it moves to the outside end of one of the radials and then takes the next radial to lay down again, using the previously built spiral like a lane marker, with the non-sticky silk constantly unreeled as the spider moves and making any necessary repairs. Once the web building process is complete and the droplet sticky silk has been laid down, the spider will capitalize on the attractive silk proteins lining the radial pattern to make it strip line. The spider lets out some more of the non-sticky silk and then captures it into the spinnerets to put a droplet of sticky silk on the end. After several repeats of this, the silk rope is now entirely invisibly coated in the highly distinctive glue that enables the orb weaver to catch moths, flies, and other flying insects easily. The bridge line is removed and may be recycled by the spider, and its web is left plucked and ready for prey. Reproduction and life cycle of spiders. Spiders typically have two kinds of silk glands: the flagelliform gland, which is used for the capture silk and webs, and the ampullate gland, which is used for the frame and radial threads of the webs and for the safety lines. The male has to transfer the sperm to the female. Therefore, the sperm cells are packed into a sperm sac, and the mating behavior of spiders is quite various and in some cases very complex. The female has the ability to store the sperm for a longer time and can then use it for egg fertilization. The development of spiders typically starts with the laying of the fertilized eggs. In order to protect the eggs and the spiderlings from predators and environmental conditions, the females of many species construct an egg sac. This sac is often built of many layers of silk. The surface is kept water repellent by a layer of lipids and wax and shows an impressive mechanical strength. By opening and closing the spinnerets during the silk deposition, sophisticated structures can be generated and even pockets can be formed within the layers. The fact that silk is used as a protecting material for the eggs is underlined by the wealth in modifications of silk properties that have evolved in spiders. For example, the flagelliform silk shows a highly elastic behavior, whereas the silk of the webradia has a comparably high tensile strength. The silk serves as a mode of locomotion and provides passive protection of the eggs. The dispersal of the ballooning spiders is assumed to have contributed to the fact that spiders colonized even remote islands. It seems that the kind of web that is spun is not crucial for the characteristics of the silk. There appears to exist diverse growth forms, such as solitary existing species and species that form social communities. All species of spiders lay eggs, but not all of them take care of the offspring. The smallest spider family has only 10 described species, and all of them show a unique pattern of maternal behavior. Maternal care may consist of constructing an egg sac, guarding the eggs, building a nest for them, or even carrying them around. However, the most primitive maternal behavior is generally considered to be the construction of an egg sac. Mothers of many species die before the spiderlings, the term for the newly hatched spiders, disperse. The emissome species leave the maternal web immediately after hatching. However, numerous species stay with their mother during the first stages of their life in order to benefit from maternal care. Some spiders show more advanced forms of parental care, such as the African Physauridae. This species shows a long-lasting social community, including several generations. The juveniles undertake long-lasting dispersal on silk threads, the ballooning. Every species has a genetically fixed maximum size, which the spider will reach after a certain number of molts, the sheds of the old skin, and after which no further growth is possible. In contrast to this, growth strategies can vary strongly and depend on various internal and external factors. For example, some long-lived species grow very slowly and do not reach sexual maturity for several years. In fact, spiders can influence the number and size of eggs depending on the quantity of food, so that the reproductive success is increased by better environmental conditions. Spider venom and its fascinating effects. For instance, black widow spider venom is a potent neurotoxin, which can cause sustained muscular contractions, and in some rare cases, even death. People bitten by a black widow may experience a range of symptoms including increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and dizziness. Another example is the Brown Recluse spider venom, which contains enzymes that break down cell membranes and can cause the death of cells. The venom can also lead to serious skin lesions, with the wound continuing to grow for as long as 10 days before healing. Moreover, some tarantula species release a spray of itching, irritating hairs, especially when threatened, but these are not one of the bad effects. In fact, tarantula venom used in research has shown to have potential uses in pain relief, due to a binding agent found in it that has been found to inhibit responses to pain in the body. These fascinating facts all contribute to the fact that spiders have an impressively diverse range of venoms, consisting of a wide variety of toxic compounds, each designed to attack a certain part of the body or process. Combined with the different hunting techniques and environments, the evolution of venoms among spiders can help provide insights into their social behavior and provide useful data for use in such areas as protecting crops. So many scientists across the world continue to research into the area of spider venom. Whenever new species are discovered or technology allows for a deeper understanding of the compounds, to ensure that these natural marvels are not lost in years to come, and that the benefits to humanity can continue to be discovered.